Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling something I'm pretty sure we all feel, that constant nagging pull of our phones. We're going to break down how our digital world is literally rewiring our brains for distraction, and more importantly, what we can actually do to fight back and get our focus back.
Yeah, let's just dive right into that feeling. You know the one, right? Where you look up from scrolling and poof, an hour is gone. It's this weird mix of, I don't know, pleasure and almost instant regret. If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. It's a sign of something much, much bigger happening to our attention.
And there's actually a name for it, the scrolling paradox. It really is the core conflict of modern life, isn't it? Our apps and devices are so well designed to keep us hooked, they tap right into our basic psychology. And they work so well that we keep scrolling, even when a part of our brain is screaming, put the phone down.
So, this isn't just about losing an hour here or there. It's something deeper. It's fundamentally changing how we think. We're moving away from deep, focused concentration to a new normal of just skimming the surface of everything really fast.
And this is such a brilliant way to picture it. In his book, The Shallows, Nicholas Carr gives us this amazing analogy. The old way of thinking, he says, was like being a deep-sea diver. You go down, you explore one thing thoroughly with total focus. But the modern internet-trained mind, that's more like a jet ski skimmer, just zipping across the surface, getting little bits of info here and there, but never, ever going deep. Now, here's the kicker. This constant distraction, it isn't your fault. It's not a personal failure and it's not a glitch in the system. It's the whole point. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Just take a look at this. This chart breaks down how this is a totally deliberate system. You can see how platform features, like the infinite scroll, are specifically designed to trigger psychological responses in us, like FOMO, the fear of missing out. And what does that lead to? Compulsive checking, of course. It's a perfect, self-perpetuating loop designed to keep us stuck. Right, so none of this is by accident. The infinite scroll is there to eliminate any natural stopping point. Those push notifications are designed to create a false sense of urgency. The algorithm is constantly learning what you like just to feed you the next perfect little hit. All of it is engineered to trigger those dopamine-driven feedback loops that make our brains say, yes, more of that, please. So let's get into the science. What is actually going on inside our skulls when we're constantly jumping between apps, texts, and emails? How is this physically changing our brains? Well, it starts with something called cognitive load. Think of your working memory, the part of your brain that's processing my voice right now, like your computer's RAM. It has a limited capacity. When you try to do too much at once, you overload it. And just like a computer with too many tabs open, everything slows down, you process things shallowly, and you start making more mistakes. And to make things even worse, there's this phenomenon called attention residue. So every time you switch from, say, a work document to a quick text message and then back, a little piece of your brain is still thinking about that text. This residue builds up all day long, chopping up our focus and just leaving us feeling stressed and mentally exhausted. And this all ties back to a really famous idea in neuroscience. The simple version is that our brains adapt. They physically change based on what we do repeatedly. So by constantly practicing distraction, we're strengthening the neural pathways for being distracted. We are literally building a brain that's better at being scatterbrained. And the price for that is steep. The research is super clear on this. People who are heavy multitaskers just plain have a harder time staying focused. Their working memory is worse, and they have a tougher time creating rich, detailed long-term memories. We're basically trading away the very skills we need for deep thought and for learning. Okay, so that all sounds pretty bleak, right? But here's the good news. It is not hopeless. Now that we understand the trap, we can talk about the escape plan. And for that, we're going to turn to the work of Professor Cal Newport. Newport's big idea is something he calls deep work. He argues, pretty convincingly, that in a world that is obsessed with distraction, the ability to truly focus without interruption is becoming incredibly rare. And because it's so rare, it's also becoming incredibly valuable. It's basically a superpower for the modern world. So how do we get this superpower? Newport lays out 4 rules. First, work deeply. That means actually scheduling blocks of time where you are unreachable. Second, embrace boredom. Instead of grabbing your phone the second you have a free moment, just don't. Let your mind wander. It's like a workout for your focus muscle. Third, he says to really question social media. Does it actually help you professionally? And finally, drain the shallows. Minimize all that low-value stuff like constantly checking email that makes you feel busy but doesn't actually accomplish much.
Okay, so those rules are great, but how do we actually do this stuff? How do we make this work in our real, messy lives starting like right now?
And this is where it gets really fascinating. Take a look at this data on what actually works. You'd think the techie solutions like screen time limits would be the most effective, right? And they help, sure, but look what's way more effective: mindfulness practices. And why is that? Because they get to the root cause, the emotional triggers, the boredom, the anxiety that make us reach for our phones in the first place.
And that right there is the key. That's the whole game. It's not about fighting your phone. It's about understanding yourself. The second you stop and ask, wait, why am I opening this app right now? Am I bored? Am I trying to avoid something? That is the moment you start to take back control.
So I'll just leave you with this. This whole conversation isn't just about escaping something negative. It's about what you could gain. What amazing things could you build or create or solve if you just got back 1 solid hour of focus time each day? It's not about what you're giving up. It's about what you stand to regain. The real question is, what are you going to do with it?